World Series on Fox. Eddie Rosario, the NLCS MVP. Well, you had 2 more hits in Game 1. 1-0 Atlanta. Game 2 coming your way now.
They say to be the best, you've got to beat the best. But what makes this game, this series, truly special is that you must beat the best again and again. There are no fluky winners here. World champions leave no doubt. In their first World Series in a generation, Atlanta came out swinging.
Slammed into left field. How about that start to the World Series?
Now, in front of their home crowd once more, the Astros look to answer in emphatic fashion.
Jordan comes up big time. The Braves have come up flying.
Who will land their best shot tonight? Game 2 of the World Series starts now on Fox.
Special thanks to Colin Farrell. The roof is open here in Houston. It's the first time it's been open for a playoff game since 2005 Game 4 of the World Series. And boy, it is a fantastic night in Houston. The World Series pregame show on Fox is presented by Geico. What a night. These fans are rocking and ready to go for a game number 2 where Jose Altuve and these Astros hoping their offense wakes up. They were quieted by this Braves pitching staff last night and beat by Atlanta and Freddie Freeman. They jumped out to an early lead, never looked back on their way to a 6-2 Game 1 win. As the fans here, ready for Game 2.
Big Papi, who? What's going on here? You know who I am. You can't handle this.
Oh, they know who you are. Just having a little fun, but I like it. That's the trophy that we're all.
I got 3 of those, baby.
Who gets it? You do have 3 of them. That's right. Welcome to the set here as Game 2 of the World Series on Fox. Big Hurt Hall of Famer Frank Thomas. Big Papi, we know who you are, David Ortiz. Alex Rodriguez, A-Rod, and I'm Kevin Burkhardt. Hey, fellas, how nice is this right here?
It's awesome. I love it.
I mean, it's been a long
Raise the
time.
roof.
It's beautiful. He said raise the roof.
Raise the roof. Again, not raise, kind of slide out of the way, but the
You know what that means.
The roof is open only the 8th time this year. Should add a nice little element to this game here tonight. Well, we talked about the Astros offense. What exactly has happened to the Astros offense last night? Good question. It wasn't the way they wanted to start the series. Their big stars, Altuve, Bregman, Correa, they were combined 0 for 12 with 6 strikeouts in the loss to Atlanta. Seems to be the common thread we've seen with these Astros so far in the playoffs, which makes sense, right? When their stars, Altuve, Bregman, and Correa struggled, they don't really do well. That's the bottom line. And the wins, you see what they've done. And the losses, 0.85 the batting average. On base percentage, only 242. That is simply not going to work. And now the question is, will they be able to do better and wake up tonight, Alex?
I think they will. Look, the numbers, as you saw from the big 3, they were awful. But I'm not really worried about the numbers, fellas, especially a core group like this that's battle tested. They failed the eye test. And what I mean by that, they were flat-footed, they were passive. 2 of their 3 stars, Bregman and Altuve, both struck out looking very atypical for a very uber aggressive team. Look, Soler set the tone yesterday with that big home run. I'm looking for a guy like Alex Bregman, who's been very quiet, to lead the way for this Astros team tonight.
Well, I look at it a little differently. I think their big 3 was ambushed. They were 0 for 12, 6 punch outs. But the other core 4 hitters, they hit the ball well last night. But you're right that the spark plug of the engine did not come through last night, and they need these guys if they're going to win a baseball game. I'm looking for them to come out tonight with a sense of urgency like we've never seen, because they know they do not want to leave this building 0-2 back to Atlanta.
You're absolutely right. They don't want to leave this building 0-2 back to Atlanta. But guys, let's go. Let me refresh you guys' mind. You don't see a night like last night too often coming from those guys. Those guys, they know how to attack the strike zone. And last night, when they review those videos today, they know Last night was a wake-up call for them. They know how to attack. They know that Fry, his last outing, wasn't the Fry that the Atlanta Braves expect. So I'm pretty sure this guy's going to come out swinging hot tonight.
Hey, Frank, you were talking in the green room that some of those other guys swung the bat well, and I agree with you. Brentley, Gurriel, Alvarez, they were all well. But in 04, Poppy, if you, Big Poppy, and Manny Ramirez fell asleep, the Yankees would have been world champions if we beat the Cardinals. We need the big guys, the core three, to be the guys to lead the way.
We'll see if they can do it here tonight. I'll tell you one thing that's strange, not only the Astros, but you talk about World Series home games. Now, last year was a neutral site, but the last 10 home teams have lost in the World Series. Wow. Think about it, 10 in a row. And wow. Houston only 2-8 at home in the World Series, which is kind of bizarre. See if they can change that trend here tonight where they're normally very, very good. Well, if we believe history, this truly could become a fall classic. Tom Rinaldi examines why this year, maybe we're due for one of those vintage moments. There's Max Fried, not related to Max Fried, as Poppy knows him, but close enough. He's on the mound for Atlanta here tonight. He's got a 13-start unbeaten streak for the Braves, and now with Morton out, he's the man, as Poppy likes to say. Astros fans ready to rock. It's Game 2 coming your way now. Pregame show presented by Geico. Happy Geico-ween. Switch to Geico for more ways to save. Game 2 of the World Series on Fox. Jock Peterson and the Braves. He's always strutting around, has that fun confidence to him. Atlanta looking to take the first two here in Houston. And hey, from losing their best player, Ronald Acuna Jr. in July, to struggling just to get over 500 during the summer, the Braves know how to handle adversity, making it to the game's biggest stage now and proving just how resilient they really are.
Ronald Acuna Jr. tearing his ACL. His season is done. It's a very difficult scenario that the Braves front office now finds themselves in.
When Ronnie went down and Alex traded for Jock, I think that was the first shot that he fired that says we're not going to sit around and let this thing go stale.
It showed us that the front office and the owner still believed in us, and they still believed we can get to this point.
We need to add a lot of players, which we did. We just tried to inject as much life into the club as we could and just remind them that, hey, we have a good club.
They get Jock and Rosie and Soler. It really just increased the depth of our lineup.
We knew it was going to be a tough road. But, we didn't give up. Front office didn't give up. Staff didn't give up. And here we are.
People said the Braves had no place in this postseason. Brian Snitker, the Atlanta Braves, have changed the narrative.
It seems like we hit every bump and every pothole possible, but we still somehow made it on the other side.
This one is a rocket into left and gone. What a start to Game 1 for the Braves.
For us to be able to get back here, first time since 1999, it means a lot to us.
Well, the 4 outfielders the Braves acquired at the trade deadline put on a show in Game 1. They had 6 hits combined, 2 homers, 4 RBI. In fact, each of these guys has hit at least 10 home runs since joining the team back in July. So those trades have all been home runs. And look, Atlanta, they've been a good team now for years. 4 straight division titles. Haven't made it here until this year. Frank, what's the secret to their success?
First, it starts with Alex Anthopoulos, who I played for in Toronto. He loves to win. He has a passion of a GM. He was assistant in Toronto, but I know his passion to win. He looked at it like this. He lost Acuna. He lost Ozuna. 2 very good big league hitters, but he went out with strength and numbers. He went and replaced 2 guys with 4, and he hit the jackpot because all 4 came out and played like superstars in the second half to go along with their core, Albies, Riley, and Mr. Freddie Freeman. So he hit the jackpot. These guys are a seriously good baseball team. Do not overlook this team. They are balanced. They can produce, and they're playing with an energy that I haven't seen in a very long time.
Frank, I agree with everything you just said. And what I like to say is growing up in Miami as a kid, I used to watch TBS. And over the last 40 years, watching America's team, there's three faces that's really kind of represented the Atlanta Braves. Dale Murphy, Chipper Jones, and Freddie Freeman.
Yeah.
Kevin, when you think about Freddie Freeman, just like the other two guys, first class, keeps his head down, blue collar, hits, great pitching, also a great defender, and a black belt human being.
Acuna and Osuna are really good friends of mine. We always stay in touch. And the night that I saw Acuna going down, me personally, I thought that the Braves and Alex, they were done. Because you're talking about two of the most feared offensive players being out for the whole season. All of a sudden, a snap of a finger, they pull out Avi hitting 30 homers with 100 RBIs. And then they go to the to the deadline, and they put guys like Soler, Peterson, Rosario, and Duvall, who it was pretty much the whole package. And man, I'm telling you, the job that the front office have been able to do, these players going down, replacing those players, bringing outfielders from here, from there, and put them in a situation right there is something that you got to get them a lot of credit.
And Poppy, really quickly, to add to your great point, Ron Washington, you have to underscore his work with Swanson and Albies. The player development is not just analytics. You also have to develop players. They've done that because of Ron Washington.
They have. And guys, as we know, baseball, it's a game of so many numbers. I mean, you can get lost in them if you'd like, right? The World Series, though, it's about memories. As we welcome in our Tom Rinaldi now. And Tom, you have a number of particular significance that helps us connect to those memories.
Kevin, maybe we don't find that significant number in all the analytics and the advanced statistics. Maybe all we have to do is look at a calendar. And if so, we find some of the most memorable World Series of all time share a single simple number. A number attached to this year. A year that ends with a 1.
This place proves not all harvests are equal, not all years the same. And when it comes to the Fall Classic, the years that end in 1s have produced a special vintage. Mantle and Maris, Clemente, Fernando Mania.
The 01 years, they've been pretty darn special.
1991, Game 6, and a call for the ages.
And we'll see you tomorrow night.
Setting up an epic Game 7 duel.
I had every kind of positive vibe in my mind. I knew it was going to be that special kind of night for me.
My dream was always to pitch a Game 7. So when you realize the matchup's going to happen, I just hoped that I could be one out better.
With matching zeros, Smoltz was pulled in the 8th. Morris refused.
I said, I'm not leaving. I said, this is mine. I'm not leaving.
Jack Morris pitched 10 innings. It was incredible.
The Twins are going to win the World Series. The Twins have won it.
I still get choked up about this. My middle son, he was crying. I asked him, what's wrong? Did you get hurt? And he says, no, Dad, I'm just so proud and so happy that we won. You know, it's like, wow.
Are you happy? Are you happy?
2001.
When you come out of 9/11 and you realize baseball was there as this diversion from what we were seeing every day on the news.
Oh, what a ball game! He is Mr. November!
It would end in a Game 7 with the Yankees playing a different role.
In any other normal year, I think a majority of the country would have loved to see them lose. But that particular year in 01, everyone embraced them.
Against the game's greatest closer, and ending no unscripted.
I dreamed of hitting a home run or a line drive in the gap.
Diamondbacks win! They're the world champion!
In reality, I will take the broken bat base hit right over Jeter's head.
2011, a Game 6 with an echo across the generations.
We will see you tomorrow night.
I just went back to the call I had heard 1,000 times.
And we'll see you tomorrow night.
I I tried to give a perfect imitation of my dad's call.
The fear was, hey, we had this great victory in Game 6, and if we don't win Game 7, it doesn't mean a hill of beans.
What a ride! The Cardinals are world champs!
Every single one, vintage.
It's a special moment. It's the epic burn. The burn in your eyes, that sensation.
Fountain of joy coming out that bubbles up out of your heart, just sort of an eruption of emotions.
If I could share one moment of my life with every human being, it would be the feeling I had after winning Game 7.
If you're wondering what the prospects are for another Classic Series, don't overlook the importance of tonight, Kevin. Of the 58 series tied 1-1, nearly half, 27, went the distance to a Game 7. Tonight can't be overstated in its importance, and we'll see what the 2021 series vintage turns out to be.
Well, we're looking forward to one of those vintage moments, Tom. Well done, as always. What struck you from that piece?
I mean, everything. Tom Rinaldi is so good. Great work there, Tom. And, you know, as a 15-year-old boy in Miami, watching Jack Morris go back to the 10th inning, having Dan Gladden score the only run in the game. But ironically, what I take away from the two calls from Jack Buck.
You don't see those games anymore, bro.
I know, Joe Buck, and then McCarver telling us, educating us at home that the infield's in the jam shot, and the jam shot came from Gonzalez. Phenomenal piece.
Frank, we get one of those moments this series. I think I feel like we're due.
We might be due tonight. The Astros will wake up tonight.
Whoa!
They better wake up tonight. I got to keep saying this. If not, you go back to Atlanta, you get steamrolled.
Frank, that's one way to put it. Frank is making the declaration, win or get steamrolled. I'm making this declaration. Big Papi's giving you a chance to win a lot of money. Yeah. A lot of it. The Fox Bet Super 6 app is all you got to do. Scan the QR code, play for free. You could win $25,000 of Big Papi's money. The biggest issue is trying to open the suitcase. One of the questions is... There you go.
More cash.
Took you long enough. So who wins tonight? What's the score? Why don't our analysts weigh in? Frank, what do you got?
I'm looking for a long series, so I'm going with Houston 5-4 and a big-time ball game here tonight.
Think the Astros get back in it?
KB's money time.
Okay.
Correa time. I would say Houston 6-4.
2 for Houston. Poppy? Oh, we're going back to the secret envelope. I got news for you. If you're wrong again, this segment is over. So you've got to get it right. We'll unveil this on the post-game show. And we get you to game number 2 with the first pitch coming up in just a few minutes. The money is flying here on the set. Carlos Correa and the Astros looking to even up this series against the Atlanta Braves as the first pitch coming your way in just a moment. These fans getting all set to go. In Houston, Texas, a gorgeous night for Game 2 between the Braves and the Astros. Atlanta took Game 1 last night, and right now we go upstairs to the public address announcer here at Minute Maid Park, Bob Ford.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we kindly ask that you please rise and remove your caps for the presentation of our nation's colors. Our honor guard this evening, the Macklemore Detachment 324 of the Marine Corps League.
Present! Huh!
And now, ladies and gentlemen, to honor America with the singing of our national anthem, please welcome from the United States Navy, Petty Officer First Class Giovanni Walker. And now, ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous
Braves take a 2-0 series lead back to Atlanta, or will the Astros even this World Series at a game apiece? The Fall Classic continues when we return with Game 2, and Joe Buck and John Smoltz have the call. Back after this.